I'm seeing people like J.J. Watt, who had to make a couple $100 million in the
Yeah.
NFL. Taylor Lewan, who probably made close to $100 million in the NFL. J.J. Watt, obviously an all-time great pass rusher. Taylor Lewan, a really good offensive tackle for a number of years in Tennessee. Both of these guys complained last night about Monday Night Football and the dispute with YouTube. J.J. Watt, so we're just not watching Monday Night Football, huh? I'm not buying another streaming subscription. Taylor Lewan, I refuse to purchase another streaming service in order to watch more games. I'll look up the score in the morning. Both of these guys' attitude reflected my own. I was like, man, I got an ESPN subscription of some
Yeah.
kind,
Yeah.
and I still can't watch this Monday Night Football deal. I've got so many subscriptions to things that I don't use that it is kind of like a line in the sand. It's not
Yeah.
about can you afford it. It's just like
Yeah.
enough is enough, man. They've, you got to have 10 million subscriptions to watch what you want on TV. I think this is a problem for the streaming services and ESPN, and these sports leagues may have overplayed their hand just putting these games on any and everywhere.
Jason, as soon as I get done from this segment, you know what I'm going to go to? I'm going to buy stock in Fire Stick, whatever's a company. I'm just going to. This is ridiculous. Do you remember? And that's probably about, what, a dozen years ago? The whole thing was, Jason, cut the cord, stream, do a la carte. Guess what, Jason? I'm the rarity. I'm the guy that's still stuck with cable for the most part. Now, I still have Netflix. I have to have The Zone. I have to have ESPN Plus for my professional obligations with boxing, right? But I'm not getting any more. But Spectrum Cable throughout the years, I found it to be pretty good. I've got every network that I need and want. Although 2 years ago, Jason, I remember right before the Utah-Florida opening Thursday night college football game, they had a dispute, and I didn't have it for a week and a half. So eventually, everybody has to pay more. And I mentioned this on Twitter last week. This always seems to happen right in the middle or the start of football season, and they basically extort our own love of sports and our need for football against us. But, there's ways around not having a platform that shows the game. There used to be a thing called a black box, Jason. It's like this mystical thing that I never saw that have every cable channel, right? Now these streaming services or networks, these pirate networks, when you actually log on, it's crystal clear. So there's ways around it, and I think we are driving people to things like Fire Sticks and illegal streams.
I'm actually enjoying, because has it been 4 or 5 days that we've now been without ESPN?
Yeah, about 4 or 5 days.
And it's like I'm kind of enjoying this because
Yeah.
again, I don't really enjoy ESPN in the first place other than game coverage. And now it's like I'm getting comfortable because last night I wanted to know the score of something or I wanted to catch a high. Literally this morning when I woke up, I was like, oh, I need to see some Cowboys, Arizona Cardinals highlights. And I
Go to
thought
YouTube.
for a second I'll flick on ESPN.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh, I can't do that. And and I'm kind of good with it.
Well,
I want this
Jason,
to blow up in Disney and ESPN's face.
Jason, they do it, and these are basically licensed highlights now. The NFL's own website, about 20 minutes after game, will either have condensed game packages or other people will put together their own highlights. So you can watch a game in about 25 to 40 minutes. So a lot of the games that I miss while I'm out doing other things, like at another game, in about 3-4 hours, I could watch 7 or 8 games and say, okay, it's like a Cliff Notes version, but you could have it. But Jason, I relate it to this. During the pandemic, and for years, I had an LA Fitness or a Bally's membership to lift weights, work out, whatever I do, right? When they started putting in rules, when they shut down the club and then you had to wear a mask while doing your incline bench press, it got a little ridiculous. But during that period of time, I just started working out by myself at the fitness center downstairs where I live. Very, very sparse equipment, but I learned how to do body weight exercises. I bought my own pair of bands. When my membership ran out, I had gotten used to not going. And I don't ever feel the need to re-up my membership again. I actually think a lot of people are going to be like you, Jason, that a month or two, if this goes that long, they're going to say, you know what? My life is really not that impacted by not having ESPN. And I think that's the dangerous game that they're playing here.
Yeah, I can get my Stephen A. Smith stupidity from Twitter. Literally,
Yeah.
I can get if Ryan Clark wants to racialize something or whatever, someone will post it over Twitter, and that's enough for me. And I certainly don't. There are highlight shows that every show now has to feature a female host and a male host, and neither one of them are really any good. It's not like the old days when hey, seeing Dan Patrick or even Keith
Olbermann.
Olbermann break down a game, not all these people are virtually irrelevant, and so ESPN is playing a dangerous game. I think people are saying they're trying to force people to the
To the app.
ESPN app and all that. I'm not sure if it's going to work because that is not my instinct, and I know I'm not the typical person, but that's not my instinct to download the ESPN app.
But hold on, Jason. How are you going to live without the vibe check? Well, by the way, what happened to that show? Is that still on?
I, Same way I lived this weekend, and I was shocked. It was hard, but there were some college football games on ESPN that I did not get this weekend, and I just watched what was available, and I checked the scores on everything else. That's the new reality that I'm capable of living with. Steve, finally, the Cowboys fell to 3-5-1 last night. The Cardinals beat them 27-17. Jacoby Brissett looked really good. And the Cowboys, and someone remind me, Hadley, someone remind me, it's Jacoby Brissett, it's Justin Fields, maybe Caleb Williams, and Russell Wilson. There's all these quarterbacks that have had black quarterbacks that have had great games against the Cowboys this year, and this terrible defense. It's like Jerry Jones, Black Lives Matters to his defense. They're doing all they can for black quarterbacks, and Jacoby Brissett got to eat off of them last night.
So is that the Underground Railroad defense? Is that what you're calling them? They're not exactly doomsday. They are so bad. They are a bad defense. It's like that old joke. Well, the Cowboy defense is only a few players away from being good. Yeah, Harvey Martin, Too Tall Jones, Randy White, and Everson Walls. And that's a bad defense. And unfortunately, I know people are talking about, do the Cowboys need to make a trade? Here's the reality. I think they're more than one player away. I don't even think Micah Parsons would have made a difference. Let me rephrase that. I don't know if he would have been enough of a difference to make this a playoff team that actually makes a deeper run. I don't want to minimize the impact of that loss, but it's really a shame because I know that Dak the last 2 weeks has tailed off, but they have a dynamic duo outside with Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, and unfortunately, they're going to put up very big numbers, and they're going to be basically the NFC version of the Cincinnati Bengals.